Hi, welcome to the Conversation of Mass, where we converse about mass. On today's episode, we'll be talking about the pushy-pulley-force thing called gravity. Caleb, why don't you tell us a little bit about gravity?
Well, gravity is described as being the force that attracts two bodies towards each other. The force that causes apples to fall towards the ground and the planets to orbit the sun. The more massive an object is, the stronger its gravitational pull.
Okay, so you described it as a force, but is it really a force? Like I've heard a lot of different statements about gravity because it's so hard to explain. Like it doesn't really make sense that two things should just go like you just connect to each other's like and just be attracted to each other like that.
Kind of like your hand and a truck.
My hand
Is that
and
true?
yeah, I mean you're not wrong. Slap trucks, think mass. Okay, but gravity is most accurately described by the general theory of relativity, made by my boy Albert Einstein. I was gonna say something fancy, like some weird fancy name, but it didn't work. Okay, but yes. Which describes gravity not as a force, but as a consequence of the curvature of space-time caused by the uneven distribution of mass. So pretty much
I
mass.
hear a familiar word in there.
You do, but mass isn't evenly spaced out through space-time. So like there's more mass in one spot, less mass in one spot. So one thing pulls on other things more than other things can pull on that thing. And that's pretty much gravity.
Yeah, that's gravity in a nutshell, right?
And we
there.
just kind of accept it. Isn't it weird how much science is just accepted? Like nobody really questions historical scientific discoveries anymore.
That's because
Nobody's
they
like-
questioned them at the time that they were discovered, which is what caused them to go into the whole yeehaw phase of make stuff.
Yeehaw phase of science.
Yeehaw!
As named by Caleb. Caleb, what era is the yeehaw phase of science?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Well, technically, I don't get why people say off the top of my head, because the top of your head is hair. So,
Well,
are you just handing them a
yes,
bunch of your
but-
hair?
I
They should
don't
say
know why the phrase exists the way it does.
The top of your brain.
What part of your brain is at the very top?
I mean, it depends. You have your left and right side, and you have your prefrontal cortex isn't really at the top, but it's kind of at the top, but not really. It depends.
Huh.
Okay.
I just searched what part of your brain is at the top, and the first thing that came up was the cerebrum, and it's the largest part of the brain and is composed of right and left hemispheres. It performs
That makes sense.
higher functions like interpreting touch, vision, and hearing, as well as speech,
Touch.
reasoning, emotions, learning, and fine control of movement.
All I got out of that was touch emotions. But
Yeah,
anyways,
I don't know if I want anyone to touch
so
my
off the
emotions.
top of your prefrontal cortex is what you should say. Actually, no. Off of the whatever you said, the
What?
cerebrum.
Yeah, the cerebrum. I mean, technically, because that's not what handles memory. That would be, what, the hippocampus, I think?
Hippocampus. It's a college area full of hippopotamuses.
Hippopie.
Hippopot
Hippopot.
pie. Bro, you just made me want chicken pot pie so much.
Bro, I'm actually having chicken in like a solid hour or something. It's gonna be
What
delicious.
kind of chicken? Chicken?
Chicken breasts, I think, or thighs, one of the two.
Like fried or cooked? And what's on the side, Caleb? You must explain.
just cooked, and I don't know what's on the side. I would presume it's something along the lines of like mashed potatoes. You usually have that with chicken.
So
and
you're
then-
just eating a plain chicken breast and mashed potatoes.
Well, there's probably something else in there, but yeah, that's part of it. I'm not a very interesting person, and I'm also a very picky eater.
Just like eat KFC every day.
Nah, man. Nah.
Honestly, how does KFC stay open? And Taco John's?
How does Taco John's exist?
Yeah, honestly. I want to know. We have a Taco John's in our town. I have never gone in there in my entire life.
Wait, there's actually a Taco John's here?
You didn't know there was a Taco John's here?
I mean,
it's right next to KFC. In that really weird part that's hard to get into, that nobody ever pays attention to.
Oh my god, I know where it is now. It's the one with the yellow sign and the red letters.
Yeah.
I remember now.
That's how forgotten it is. I don't even know what's there.
I
Probably
barely
tacos.
even remembered where KFC was. And I was like, wait a second, it's in that one place near Huaycaco's Bowowling.
Huico's Bowling? Why? Why do you have to say it like that?
Because it's like technically pronounced like Huicos or something, but like I don't like that, and like I used to pronounce it like
How does Taco John's
Huicos
stay open? Wait, apparently they serve breakfast too.
I don't know if I'd trust breakfast from Taco John's.
They only have a 3.9 star rating.
That high, really? Wow.
Mexican and Western flavors.
Mexican and Western flavor.
They have crispy fish tacos. I don't really think that's okay. There's
really, so much stuff that like from anywhere else I'd be like, wow, that's good for them. But Taco John's just like, no, I would never trust that. Like just no.
Also, yeah, okay. So back to gravity. Technically, okay, in a theoretical world where a person could increase their gravity, how broken would everything become? Like, if you could just increase your gravity and everything would slowly start moving towards you.
You wanna know what that sounds a lot like?
What?
The Force. The Force.
That's a good point.
Real. I mean, because, like, granted, that's not how they describe it. I don't know how they describe it. It's just, like, some magical whoosh whoosh powers.
Magical whoosh whoosh powers that go...
Sounds about right, yeah. But, like, if you could just
And then you grab somebody's esophagus, and then...
Esophagus.
Make their air pipe go poof.
I don't know if I'd want my air pipe to go poof. That sounds like it'd hurt a lot.
Now, what would happen if you, like, all structural supports in your neck just disappeared? That'd be so weird. Your head just flops around.
I feel like your head would just immediately drop, and, like, if you hit it just right, or I should say just wrong, your spinal cord would probably get severed.
Yeah, you'd have to, like, carry around your head if your neck was just like an empty skin flap.
Oh, never say those words again.
It's like a bowling ball in a long sock. You just have to, like, try to not make it flop over.
No.
I mean, but if in this world, it was also the world where you could control gravity, it wouldn't be a problem. Because bowling balls only fall to the ground because of gravity.
Yeah. But if you could just, like, cause the gravity to either be lessened in that direction or be equal to 9.8 meters per second in the opposite direction, causing it to, like, just float or levitate.
Yeah, so therefore, or shall I say, there three, like, gravity.
What?
I don't know. It's what? What do you mean? What?
What do you mean? I should say there three. Why?
Okay, so this is a story from chemistry. So my fellow classmate, who we've mentioned.
Our fellow classmate.
Yes. Well, I guess not fellow classmate anymore because the class is sadly over.
Oh.
But the man who speaks well brain, Andrew Royal Hackett, got very confused in class so we were taking notes up on the board, and the teacher gave an example as like an abbreviated form of therefore, and it was 3 dots triangle. So when you're writing out like a proof or a statement, you could, instead of writing therefore multiple times, you just do the 3 dots arranged in a triangle. And then Andy, having the massive brain he has, noticed there's only 3 dots. So instead of therefore, why isn't it just there 3? So now you're legally not allowed to say therefore.
Don't you mean you're like legally obligated to say there 3? Because it's not illegal to say therefore, but you're just...
Oh, it is now.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see.
Congress has decided. The bill has been signed.
It is officially illegal to say therefore instead of there 3.
Oh, guess you're going to prison, Caleb. You've already said it like 4 times.
Well, crap.
Okay.
Stay hydrated.
Bro, why do you get so thirsty whenever you hear the word hydrated? That can't just be me.
I rarely even get thirsty. I just try to drink water because I never drink water and I'm usually dehydrated, even though I don't really feel the effects of it much. It's probably not,
because
like...
you're always wonky.
What do you mean I'm always what? What do you mean I'm always wonky? What does that mean?
I don't know, Caleb. What if life is just an illusion?
Okay. So, what if life was an illusion though? Like, what if it was literally just the Matrix?
Like, my whole take on it is not that we're being like controlled from an outside source, but that your life as it is the only source. Like, every single person and every single thing happening around you doesn't exist. Like, me talking to you, that doesn't exist. I exist, but nothing else exists.
Shucks.
Like, you are just a creation of my imagination. This podcast is just a creation of some outside realm. Everything that happens...
See, but the thing with that is from my perspective, you saying that is actually just me thinking that. So really, instead of you existing and this whole podcast not, it's the other way around. I exist, but hearing you say that actually doesn't, because you technically don't exist, because only I do.
But
only
if
you
I'm the only
exist
one that exists,
from
then
your
you're
perspective.
lying, and you're just saying that to make it so I believe that I am not the only one that exists.
No, from your perspective, you are the only one that exists. From my perspective, I am the only person
But
that
your
exists.
perspective doesn't exist, therefore, nothing.
Your perspective...
There are 3, nothing.
My perspective doesn't exist from your point of view.
But your point of view doesn't exist because nothing else except me exists.
Only from your perspective, Ryder.
You're not... Yeah, everything just ends up being a paradox and nothing exists, and either nothing exists or everything exists, and that's the only way it can exist.
Yeah, basically. But, like, I've always thought The Matrix was just fantastic.
I've actually never seen it.
What?
I need to start a what count for you, Caleb. You said what to like every single thing I've said so far.
How have you never watched The Matrix?
I just haven't.
Why?
I don't know.
Why? We are going to watch the trilogy at some point. It is.
I'm not
God
much
trilogy.
of a movie watcher. I don't like just sitting down and watching a 1.5 hour movie.
Oh my god! But it's Just no.
The only matrix I'm into is the good old mathematics-related matrix
that
with
just
determinants and garbage.
The determinants. So many zigzags and determinants.
So many random multiplying matrices is just weird and gross and kind of
it
annoying.
Wasn't like you do the column and then the row and then the row and then the column and then you put it
you're
the
pretty much multiplying everything by everything and then putting it in everything.
Yeah, and like you only use like the the dimension of one and the other dimension of the other.
Yeah, it's just gross and weird and bad and stupid and should be sucked into a black hole by gravity.
I don't like that. I think we did way too much in Algebra 2.
Yeah, we spent a year in Algebra 2 when we were supposed to spend a half year in Algebra 2, so we just did so much Algebra 2.
Yeah. But we did
13 units.
A lesson a day throughout 13 units.
Yeah, we
kind of
should have done 2 lessons a day. We could have done 2 lessons a day, but we just
there were some days on which we could do 2.
Bro.
But oh my god, Run.
Math games. Run 3.
Oh my god, so much of cool math games is gonna be irrelevant in 2021.
Yeah, it's
because so much of it runs off a flat. Oh my god, what are kids gonna play in school?
Nothing, apparently.
No.
They're just gonna have to do school in school, I suppose.
Oh my,
Such a tragedy.
Then, no.
But Run 3, that was such a long game. And with such a simple concept, too. You just controlled a little alien spaceman and then manipulated gravity to your advantage.
Okay, now I really want to play Run.
I'm gonna open up now.
Actually, Run 3. I want to open it up, and I want to see if there's going to be any audio in the podcast, because if not, you know what I'm going to be doing for the next 15 minutes.
Run... Oh, yeah. There's just so much weird stuff in Run 3, too. Like, at the surface, it just looks like a simple, 3D, 2D platformer. But then when you get into it, you realize nothing makes any sense. And there's an infinite amount of levels.
Basically, it feels like an infinite amount of levels, that's for sure. Didn't you complete, or at least get very close to completing every level?
I completed all the levels in the game.
Yep, that took forever.
Bro, this music is banging. Oh my gosh.
I muted the site. Calm down.
Bro, but this music is too good. You know what else is too good?
What?
7th grade science class.
Oh my god. Okay, before we get into that, I just need to say, this game actually really well correlates to the idea of gravity.
It does. Like, what even is gravity in this game? Because you're running through a tube, but you can change what side of the tube you're on. And then up becomes down and down becomes up. What even is up and down?
So okay.
And left and right. It's just
I'm sure
made-up
nearly
concept.
Every person that's watching this. But for those of you who haven't played Run, basically, you run through tunnels, and whenever you touch a wall, that wall then becomes your down, and gravity changes, and the screen changes to make your down.
Yeah, so whatever you touch with your legs becomes the new floor, and then the screen adjusts so it makes sense, and that is the floor. So you can rotate around these tunnels, and yeah, every tunnel goes straight, so there aren't any curves, but there are many obstacles and holes in the tunnel that you have to avoid too, and you're running and jumping and switching sides of the tunnel you're on to avoid falling into the void.
The only thing is, if you really learn the gravity of this game, you can learn to do the ultra skip on lots of levels.
But that's too complicated.
It's complicated for you, Ryder. I've actually known how the gravity works in this game for quite a while, and I can usually pull it off.
So yeah, gravity makes sense in this game, but gravity doesn't make sense in the real world. And that's all I have to say on that.
Basically, yeah. But we were going to talk about, what, 7th grade science?
7th grade science class. Oh my gosh.
That was a great class.
That was such a hard class, too. I swear, the chemistry we did in that was, at some times, harder than the chemistry we just did in 9th grade.
Well, we didn't do much chemistry. We mainly did a bit of stoichiometry.
That stoichiometry was completely different from any of the stoichiometry we ever did.
That's because
This year's chemistry.
That's because most of the stoichy that we did in 7th grade was just balancing equations.
Yeah, which isn't really stoichiometry.
Really we never.
And for anybody who doesn't know, stoichiometry is pretty much looking at a chemical equation with elements, and then using mass and like the amount of everything to then determine either the amount of like your product or your reactant that's left over or produced from a given reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 7th grade chemistry was also combined with physics. So we did half a year of chemistry and half a year of physics with the best teacher, I guess, the best teacher of the time, Mr. Lundunderberg himself.
Mr. Paul.
Mr. Paul, yeah. He got so mad whenever we called him by his first name. You could just see it in his fiery eyes.
Yeah, but I also think later he just, like, accepted it because he knew it wasn't going to end until the class was done.
To this day, our group chat is still named Paul.
It is still named Paul. Someone just, like, changed it at one point. Because there was a time where it didn't have a set name, and it was just consistently changing. And then
everybody should go check out Paul's YouTube channel.
Oh, yes. I'll do my best.
He uploads the most educational videos.
If I can remember, I'll put a link
grades
in the description.
Of science. Yeah, his class was just so fun. The projects we did, we made a Rube Goldberg machine. That was probably the best time. We made rockets.
I remember that project.
And that one test on light and sound that everybody failed.
Waves. Like a solid 5 people passed it, and everyone else failed it.
Were you one of the people who passed that test, Caleb?
Bro, I nearly aced it.
Yeah, so did I, but after that, he spent a whole day reteaching the subject to the people who failed the test, and then everybody who didn't fail the test got to make slime in the hallway. But instead of making slime...
It wasn't even good slime. It was slime using the I don't remember the name of it.
Borax.
Borax, that's what it is.
Borax balls. We made...
Oh my god!
We used way too much borax in our slime and ended up making bouncy balls with like a powdery coating.
God, that was terrible.
I would argue against that. It was great.
Well, yeah, but basically...
Just like Frosted Flakes.
Basically, when...
They're great.
Oh, that's... okay.
Just popped into my head. I can't say the word great without thinking of good old Tony the Tiger.
But when we went to, like, make that slime, we didn't even get any instructions. He basically said, take the computer, do some research, and make slime.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, he probably didn't have a good lesson plan for the day to give us, so he was just like, I don't want to keep them in here when they were the ones who passed the test, so I'm just going to let them go out in the hallway and make whatever they want with slime and random stuff.
Slime and random stuff.
There was random stuff out there. I feel like we only used half the ingredients he gave us.
Well, but I don't know about that.
So the pond project.
Oh god.
The ultimate test, the final project in that class. So there's a pond near the middle school that we used for research, and this was also when we were dealing with acids and bases, like we talked about in our last episode. So you had to figure out a hypothesis and a subject to talk about, and then write this massive report with multiple like trials and sets of data, and then prove your hypothesis correct or incorrect. I think we did it like, how does pH of water affect the growth of plants? And we got inconclusive data, of course, because this project only lasted a month, and plants don't grow a whole lot in 1 month. And also,
only a month? Bruh, I thought it lasted like a solid 2 weeks.
It might have been shorter. It felt like forever because it was terrible.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But the best part was when we just got to collect data by the pond.
I hated
And
that.
most of the time we would just mess around in the grass. And
I don't
poke
even
stuff with
remember
sticks.
what we did ours on. Or at least my group. I just remember hating it.
Yeah, it wasn't the best project. The best project in that class was either the Rube Goldberg machine.
Yes.
Ours was so cool. We used Hot Wheels and pulleys. Oh yeah, we had to use.
Bro,
oh yeah, simple machines. That
we were in the same
unit.
group. I remember making that.
Oh yeah, we used that Hot Wheels spiral.
Yeah.
Bro, okay.
Did we ever
Spiral just reminded me.
Implement
Spiral mac and cheese is superior, and you cannot say I'm wrong.
What? Spiral mac and cheese?
Yeah, like Kraft mac and cheese spirals. They just hit different. Like, I don't know.
What spirals?
You've never had spirals?
Are you talking about the normal ones?
No, like the new. Look it up right now, Caleb. It's like a spiral-shaped noodle. It's like a rotini.
Spiral macaroni and cheese.
Why do you have to?
wait. Kraft spiral mac and cheese.
It's just superior. I don't know what it is, but it must be like the way the cheese is like encased individually between the spirals. It just makes it taste so much better.
No. No. Oh, well, there goes a pencil.
Or the shapes. Shapes just taste so much better, but you don't get as much noodle mass. So I mean, it's kind of a scam.
But they are still good.
They all taste different, even though they shouldn't at all taste different.
They shouldn't, yet they do. That's the thing.
It's just a big placebo effect.
But I don't. Sorry, go
Your
ahead.
brain is being influenced to make you think it tastes different when really it's the exact same thing.
It's the difference in concentrations between noodle and
cheese.
Yeah, that.
I think I just reached level 40 in run right now.
Okay, what am I on? I'm only on 24. That's sad.
Caleb, you are slacking at run.
I know, I realize that.
I could play this game for days. It's so addictive. And I mean, it was designed to be addictive.
Yeah.
And that's a problem, because it works.
Because it works. With the rocket project, did we ever implement that one, like, pulley system where something drops into the little bucket and it pulls up the other thing? I remember we drew up a mock-up design, but I don't know if we ever implemented it.
What? So we made bottle rockets with compressed. Actually, I think we filled them with water.
Wait, did I say rocket project?
Yeah.
Oh, I totally meant the Rube Goldberg.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, explain it again though.
So I remember we drew up like a mock-up design, but it was basically I don't know if it was like a marble or if it was a Hot Wheels car or whatever, but it would basically fall into a little bucket, and then that bucket would pull on like some string to make the thing on the other end of the string go up.
We implemented it, but it was so scuffed. Like, it barely worked. We got it to work like once when we were being observed, like, luckily, very fortunately. Like, every other test we did, that thing didn't work, so I think we got a few points off because of it. But,
all I remember is that entire project was all scuff. Just all...
It was. Like, your plans are just so much greater in your mind than it actually turns out.
Plus,
ending up
because,
when you build it.
When you did it, you literally had to bring items from your home to make a Rube Goldberg machine using simple machines.
Yeah.
It's like, bruh, who at their house has like a lever and a pulley and a friggin'
Light
I don't know,
switch be like
spinny
lever.
light switch. Be
Yeah, bro,
like.
you don't just hang a pulley from your ceiling? I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, I guess I'm just one of those non-pulley ceiling hanger people.
Well, what else did we do in 7th grade science?
You were about to talk about the rocket project.
Oh yes, the rocket project. How could I forget? The single most, just crazy project we ever did in that class. There was just so much that went into that. And it was exciting too, because you had to make an aerodynamic model while also watching the weight, making it look good, and winning on the creativity part. Somebody made I think it was Ted?
Yep.
Who made a fish rocket?
Yep. Exactly what he did.
Which flew in a spiral and went sideways because it had an open mouth.
Oh my god.
Which throws off all of the aerodynamics.
That was, Andy was in that group. That was the rocket that tried to kill everyone.
Yeah, it went straight into the crowd. That was deadly. Oh my gosh, Hackett always trying
Andrew
to murder
Royal
people.
Hackett. God. Or gosh. Sorry for those of you.
Jeez, Caleb.
I'm sorry.
Oh wait, I shouldn't say that either.
Yeah, Ryder. I
feel like I'm missing a project. What other? So we had the Rube Goldberg. Oh yeah, that one. Okay, the big soda dispute.
What?
So we were given extra credit for doing a project with organic chemistry or something, where we had to write out formulas and draw diagrams of butane and ethanol and stuff.
I remember that, and I was actually
you were promised a can of soda if you finished it. And Lundberg, with his he brings in lemon flavored ginger ale. Lemon ginger ale of any soda he could have gotten. He brought in lemon ginger ale. So we all went on strike, of course, because honestly, who wants lemon ginger ale?
And then
it took us about another 2 months to finally get a can of Sprite after that.
And that reminds me of the one time when we played Science Jeopardy.
Oh my! I'm still mad about that. Caleb, you just ignited a spark in my brain that I wanted to forget about.
Matthew just he was the score counter. He just could not count.
It was so bad. The scores were all incorrect. Every single question was wrong, and nobody was listening to the answers. And oh my gosh,
it was all just chaos.
I think somebody left the room crying that day. It was terrible.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised.
I guess it's just because they didn't think mass. If they would have been thinking mass, they would have kept their heads straight.
Yep.
Speaking of that, think mass. Have a good night. Hope you've enjoyed. And again, think mass.